In regards to lighting, I don't need a lot of light. I have to match the lighting on my subject with the same lighting that's in my background. And those are just, night lights. So you set your background first to make sure that your lights are not blown out. You set up your subject, they will be dark, and then I just bring in my video light as needed. I'm turning my video light on full. It's about a couple thousand lumens, and I'm putting it through an umbrella to give me some great soft light. Posing this way, and I got to get them dead center. So if you guys can move in right in the middle right here, perfect. And so I'm going to kind of have them look at each other right here. And now I'm going to take a shot. Let's pull the video light away. So I'm going to show you a before shot, what it looks like without the light. They're completely dark. Okay. So now I'm going to turn this all the way up. And if you guys can put all your weight on that leg there, keep it straight. Good. And come out this way just a bit. There you go. Step right in, and then that's beautiful. That's gorgeous. And put your heads together and look at each other. How's that? Let's try with that. And now I've got beautiful light. Now I need you to move like 2 inches this way. Okay, perfect. Go ahead. Perfect.
Right.
You're right. Good. Put your heads together. Good. I'm shooting up now, and I've got this shot. I need to see a little bit more of Serena's face. There you go. Put your heads a little bit together more right there. Beautiful. And smile. Good. Serena, I need a little bit more smile out of you. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the same shot, but I'm going to get some catch lights in Serena's eyes. So I'm going to put this light right here, and I'm going to have her look at this light so I can see the beautiful catch lights in her eyes. And Brad, you're going to just look down this way, and you're going to try to get your nose at that sweet spot, and just put your nose down just a little bit, right? Good. A little bit down lower, Brad, and a little bit closer. Good. Now I need you both to smile. Perfect. And I need to see Serena's face a little bit more. Good. And perfect. Get that light a little bit closer. Good. I got to get it. Oh yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Use a little bit of video light. I'm diffusing it through an umbrella to get some great soft light and set the exposure for the background, and you've got a beautiful shot, and it's very easy to do with constant light. And so I think it creates a great shot because they're highlighted. And so if you, I'll have them posed right here, right? And I'm gonna move that light back a bit, Debbie, because I'm going wide here. And so this is a really great, interesting backdrop, and they're lit up. And I'm gonna actually move you over here because I wanna shoot this area here. So I have this light from the window here, and which lights them perfectly, but I'm gonna add a little video light there, and I'm gonna get this leading line against them. Okay, so perfect, go ahead, go for that right there. I love that right there. Oh my gosh, looks so romantic. I'm gonna take a lower angle so I can accentuate and give them more of a hero feel. And what I need to do is get that light high so I can create some shadow on them. Oh gosh, gorgeous. I'm gonna put this blue in the background there. And I know that there's some cranes right there right now, but I'm gonna get those out in Photoshop so I could really accentuate that sky. And I'll take a few without it, just in case. And go back a little bit, Debbie, and move over that way just a tad. Beautiful, and I love it. Oh my God. Serena, smile. You know, I gotta give it to Brad. He's got the most awesome smile. Is that why you married him? Marrying him? Gosh, you guys look great. I am keeping my eyes open to see what kind of lighting there is existing. And I saw this beautiful highlight right here. So I go, you know what? If I put my subjects there, they're gonna be lit for me. And so I just needed a bit more light on them. So I added a video light through an umbrella. And I've got this beautiful geometric composition where a leading line coming down right at them and set them up for a beautiful backdrop, giving me a great shot.